my life, pieces of my fragments of my life in the book, along with, they were like, Essence pretty much laid it out for me in a very Ledisi kind of way. I wanted to make sure that it looked like me, felt like me, and you can see yourselves in the book as well. And Essence did a great job, wonderful time working with them, and I enjoyed this experience, but it was hard. It was harder than doing an album, but I had a great time doing it.
Yeah, so you just mentioned an album, and we talked a little earlier on air, and you said that this book, this particular format, opens it up for you, allows you to give more of the story, more of the journey, versus an album or writing a song. So let's talk about the journey.
There was something that I learned early, and I talk about it in the book, where we have those moments where we have to be by ourselves. And we don't like being by ourselves as human beings. We don't like being isolated. But sometimes it's a good thing, because that's your time to really reflect on your life and look around. And I think being on the floor, what happened was I was giving up on the music industry because they said you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough. I was getting exhausted. I was tired of adjusting to the situation instead of the situation adjusting to me, coming into environments that was not comfortable but making it work so the audience would never see my pain. I never let them see me sweat, even though inside I was just, gosh, I'm never gonna get past that level. And what it was, I moved to New York after being in the Bay Area so long and grinding and had 2 independent albums that did really well, but why am I still broke? What's going on? Why do I have $68 in my account? You know what I mean? Something is not right. Not that money was the value, it was I need the money to pay for things so that I can get further and further in my career. And it was really, I had the wrong environment around me, the wrong people. And I ended up moving to New York thinking, okay, I'm gonna quit. I don't wanna sing anymore. I'm gonna do just Broadway and hide out there. I was ashamed. I was sleeping on the floor at my friend's house. Richard, who I talk about, he was beautiful for letting me. I felt like, wow, the floor is better than the street.
Yeah.
You know, so I was close to the street. I left everything behind. I had 2 suitcases. I was scared to death, but I knew I had to take this leap of faith. So there is one moment, okay, I'm leaving all my comfort zone to go somewhere I know nothing about. I've never been in New York that long, just a hot minute. Hey, I'm performing, see y'all later, bye. You know, but here I am gonna move there with 2 suitcases on the floor, sleeping bag right next to Richard's bed. And I just felt like a big failure. I had 2 independent albums, sold 160,000 units, and I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out. So I said, well, I'm gonna quit, stay in Broadway. People would see me on the street. Hey, you performing this week? You know, I would just smile. And talking on the floor, I write about in the book, and Essence put it in there. What it was, God was humbling me. He was letting me look at myself first and look at the people around me that didn't belong anymore. He was clearing all the way for me to enjoy all the greater things around me. And then it became not about me. The bigger picture is, what is my calling? What is my purpose? And what impact do you want to make on this world? And then I started appreciating being on the floor a little bit better. I started thinking about, wow, when I get off this floor and I make a better environment around me, I'm gonna kick butt when I go back out there. Yeah. But I still wasn't sure I wanted to go back into the music industry. It's a business. I don't look industry. I don't look
industry-ish.
You know, I didn't look the part that they were looking for. Had Bantu knots and big eyes and all this stuff, you know. So for me, I felt comfortable because, you know, my mom said, you're beautiful looking, chocolate legs, you're so gorgeous. I'm thinking, okay, I'm beautiful, chocolatey and whatever. And I get into the world and it's something different. And I say this in the book. Every day I tell myself I'm beautiful because the world says something different. And I put those affirmations to remind myself and to remind others, you are beautiful as you are. So I ended up staying there for a while, and the only part that I got a call from Shaka Khan, come and open for me for a week. And I was like, wow, a week. But I had to go back to my old situation to get into it, and I talk about that in the book, how painful it was to go backwards. I felt like I was going backwards, but I was meeting Shaka.
That Ledisi where you were broke and you had like the $68 in your bank account.
Yeah, it's really 30
What
something.
what advice would you give the Ledisi back then?
I would tell her it's gonna be better than all right. It's gonna be bigger than what you've ever imagined if you just stay forward.
Stay with it.
Stay in it. It's gonna be all right, girl. He's gonna blow your mind. Yeah, that's what I would tell her. I'm addicted to how we make love.